The Boston Bruins have made yet another shocking move. This time, Bruins fans are not happy as the team has sent down Matthew Poitras to AHL Providence in a move that nobody expected. We're going to be talking about this, why this could have happened, why the Bruins may have chose to do this, and what implications this is going to have on this team going forward. Now, before we get into it, we're currently at 4,953 subs. Let's aim for 5K this video. I know you guys can do it. You guys are the best community in the Bruins network. I do very much appreciate all of your guys' support. Your support has been absolutely insane as of late, but I know you guys can do it. Let's aim for that here in this video. But without any further ado, we need to get into this topic because this is crazy. Matthew Poitras, obviously, as I mentioned in the intro there, has been sent down to the Providence Bruins, and the genuine reaction and the kind of unanimous reaction to this move on Twitter from the Bruins community is not good. Nobody likes this move, and I have not seen one person say anything positive about this. But starting it off, obviously, Connor Ryan tweeting this out, the Bruins have assigned Matt Poitras to Providence, and immediately, kind of everybody going off why, what's happening, what is this for, what reasonings do the Bruins have to give Matthew Poitras sent down, and I'm kind of in the same boat, you know. Immediately, Matthew Poitras, in my mind, has been one of the most consistent players on this team, and I wouldn't say best just yet, but he's been still very good, but he's been one of the most consistent players offensively and defensively without making too many mistakes, and him being only 20 years old and being in this whole area in his career with a Bruins team that's been having no success, really, and a team that should be having a lot, he's been one of the most consistent players on this team that ultimately now is no longer on the actual main roster for the Bruins. And going further into this, Scott McLaughlin had this to say when what Jim Montgomery had to say when he was asked about Matthew Poitras coming out of the lineup, that was kind of announced this morning. A lot of people thought it may have been a healthy scratch, but Montgomery says he wants to see him making more of an impact on the game, making more plays, understanding our structure. Now, this is a very interesting quote from Jim Montgomery once again. Something I've been saying for quite some time is a lot of interesting quotes, and a lot of ones that people are not happy with. And in this case, having him say that he wants to see Matthew Poitras make more of an impact on the game, in their system, in their structure, is an absolutely insane take. As I mentioned, he's been one of the most consistent players. I'm not saying he's been the best because there have been many other good players on the Bruins finding no success. So, you know, that fourth line has been very good. Matthew Poitras finding a good home in the middle six, having a lot of different line mates, a lot of different partners that he's been on the lines with on the right wing, at center, wherever he may be. He's been finding success and fairly quickly with his new line mates in the system that he's in, and having him, Jim Montgomery, come out and say that he wants to see more of an impact on a game of a 20-year-old who's been one of the best players on a very good Bruins team is just absolutely insane in my mind, and the way we're looking at it and the way it kind of comes down to it and the on-ice play that we're watching at home while Jim Montgomery's watching on the bench seem to be completely different from the opinions that he has and the opinions that us Bruins fans have. But as I mentioned, you know, that kind of came out this morning with the line changes, Morgan Geekie coming in on the first line, and we know the moves they've made. We know Morgan Geekie's been in and out of the lineup. He's been one of the worst players on the Bruins, if not the worst this season. And they take Matthew Poitras out, make some more moves, and put Morgan Geekie on the first line. I would love for someone to be able to tell me how this makes sense. How, you know, doing this comes to mind and actually comes out into an actual lines in practice this morning. Even just a bit of common sense would realize that this is a horrible decision to make. And I'm not saying taking Matthew Poitras out of the lineup would have been overall the worst thing that could have happened, but putting Morgan Geekie on the first line and having Poitras out of the line and making those moves coincide is really the issue that I have with this. But as you can see, Coyle, Frederic, Johnson, Marchand, Lindholm, and Brazeau being the middle six. We haven't really seen Poitras on the fourth. We haven't seen him on the first too much, apart from a few opportunities here and there. But now looking at this, Poitras not even in this lineup completely makes no sense. There are many slots that he could fit in, and I have no hesitation in putting him on really any of these four lines. Only the fourth line, I guess we could say, because that line has been just good without any help needed. So I want to know right now what you guys think about this whole system. I want to know what you guys think about the reasoning behind it. I want you guys to let me know, do you agree with this or not? And I think I will know what you're going to put in the comments, or I know what your reactions or answers are going to be. But why do you think Jim Montgomery did this? I know that he said he's been trying to look for help, and I know this is not a Jim Montgomery decision. It has to go through multiple people. It has to go through Don Sweeney as well, and we can't not put Don Sweeney in the crosshairs of this one. And having Poitras come out of this lineup, even though he's only had 4 points in 14 games, the points that he's had is not the biggest factor that he's had on this team. It's been his capability of taking the puck away and his defending, his takeaways on the defensive side of this Bruins team. He's been a very, very good role for that. He's had the points, come here and there, but that's not what his, whole factor has been for this team. I'm not sure if the Bruins want him to become a point scorer and just going to completely disregard his defensive abilities, or if they want him to solely go out and be their next point scorer. But either way, I think the Bruins are making a big mistake here at this, and having Matthew Poitras come out of this lineup in exchange for Morgan Geekie really has kind of struck me the wrong way here with this, but we may have some reasons as to this, and it may have been revealed. I don't know if this is going to be the actual reasoning or not, but there have been some ideas, some people on Twitter, some of the writers coming out and saying that this could be a paper move for cap space. And I do understand that this could be an option, but the way we've seen Don Sweeney work with the cap space this season, work with the roster, we haven't seen any signs of anybody being added to this team. We've seen Tyler Johnson come into this lineup about 3 weeks later than he should have, and realistically, there's no signs of Don Sweeney actually making any other moves. But having this come out from the Bruins Network, and I do have another tweet here in a moment that we'll get into, but he says, well, obviously I wouldn't agree on this move for any reasons. Providence doesn't play until Friday, and with Poitras sitting anyways, this could be very well be a cap-oriented move to bank some space. Would hold on any further and more dramatic criticism for now, in my opinion. Now, I do agree with this. Right now, if this is a paper move, absolutely, it's fine. But there are a lot of reasons why this would not be a paper move, why this would not be kind of the situation that we put ourselves in. And then from Steve Conroy retweeting this and quote tweeting it, from Matt Porter saying, paper move, saves 3 days of cap space on his NHL contract. We'll be back Thursday. Every little bit helps. Tons of team playing the paper game to game. But Steve Conroy also went out and put this, which is another real interesting thought as to why this might be not a paper move, and saying, maybe not. We'll see. If it was merely a paper move, not sure why the team would have sent out a press release. And if you go to the Bruins Twitter right now, they have that out on their Twitter, kind of saying that Matt Poitras sent down. Normally, if it's a paper move, we just see someone is coming out and tweeting it, like Steve Conroy, like Connor Ryan, like any of these other guys, just coming out and saying that, yep, he's sent down. It'll only be for a few days, though, because there's no need to put it out in the release. But having Matt Poitras come out here, having the reaction that we've had from Jim Montgomery here, kind of that there's no way he's fitting in this lineup right now, makes me believe that this is a move that should not have been made, a move that is going to be something that we may see for a couple weeks or at least a week at this point. But obviously, this is the big thing here, what Jim Montgomery had to say, kind of the impact of the game, making more plays, understanding the structure. Seems to me and seems to a lot of Bruins fans that he already understands that, and he's already thriving in that role. So, as I mentioned, I want you guys to let me know what you think about this move. And I know that we're going to put a lot of blame on Jim Montgomery, Don Sweeney here, and if this is a paper move, I think we got to hold off on it. But if we find out that it's not, and I'll be keeping you guys up to date if it is or is not, then we can kind of let our sails go on those two, and we'll have another video out if this is something that we have to go further in. It seems like, with kind of the confusion around this move, that we will have some more videos on this, so you're going to have to make sure to hit the sub button if you do want to. And remember, we're almost at 5,000 subscribers, and if we could hit that this video, that would be absolutely amazing. And once again, you got all your Bruins news here. I'll have you up to date with every single bit of it. But that's all I got in this video. If you did enjoy, give it a like, hit the sub button as well. And of course, remember, let me know in the comments below what you think about this move. And I'm expecting a lot of funny reactions, but a lot of pissed off Bruins fans as well, because I'm in the same boat. But as I mentioned, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.